Truffle Shuffle. This is a simple game of set collection published by AEG. I picked it up in my friendly local game store a couple of days ago just because the box looked very neat, the theme looked neat, and it looked like a simple game that I can play with my family these days that I don't have game night with adults because of the current ongoing pandemic. And so I played this game with my daughters, with one of them alone, only with Louisa, who incidentally will join us in the conclusions of this video, and then I also played with both Louisa and Amelia. So I played the game with 2 and 3 players. It goes to 4, but I cannot comment on that version. I can tell you that it scales well, at least with 2 and 3, it plays pretty well. It's a very simple, very light game with a very delightful theme, which is you collect chocolates, but again, you collect cards, really. The game is played in 3 rounds, and each round you take cards from this deck and you form a display such as this one. So you will form one at the beginning of every round, and you have 4 cards on top, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. One row has cards that are face down, the next one is face up, and also cards are placed in a way that, with the exception of the bottom row, each card is partially covered by 2 other cards. You have these very nice coins here. I have to show you, this is really nice production values. And these coins look like gold, but they're chocolate coins. How adorable is that? And basically the point of the game is to collect the highest amount of points by the end of round 3. That is how you win the game. The game is exceedingly simple. Another thing I want to point out, you probably have noticed, the back of the cards is not the same. The cards on the front will show you different types of chocolate with different values. Some cards will have special abilities and effects. For example, the numerical value of this card reproduces the value of another card in your hand. If I play them like this, it'll be 2 4s, and this would also be 2 4s, and that changes, or that sets the value but doesn't change the color. So I have a pink 4 and a purple 4. The cards allow you to choose any numerical value for that one. Take 2 cards when you play this one. Other things change the color of the cards and so on and so forth. But again, it's very important that the back of the cards informs you about the color of the card. You don't know what's here, but you know the color, and so you have partial information even when you are selecting a card from a row that has cards that are face down. Also, the opponents will hold their cards in their hand, and so you can look at their back and make guesses and hypotheses based on that. The game is exceedingly simple. Basically, during each turn, you'll acquire a card by default or more if you're using cards that give you special effects. When you take a card, the card needs to be completely uncovered. So at the beginning of the game, players can only select face-down cards from the bottom row. And suppose that now this is my turn, I take a card, and that's it. And then one of my daughters takes this card. And now the other daughter can choose a card from the bottom row, or can choose that one, which has been freed entirely, and suppose that she does so. And we continue like this, taking cards and adding them to our hands. After a while, you will have enough cards, and hopefully the right combination of cards in your hand to score points. After you take your card, or cards if you're using a special effect, you can discard a set of cards that will allow you to score, and basically you're scoring based on poker hands. This is what you score and how much that gives you. So if after I took my card or cards, I discard 1 card of each color, I score 3 points. For 1 color, 3 points. Small straight, so 4 sequential cards from 1 to 4, 2 to 5, which is the highest number, 4 points. Small straight flush, 6 points. Large straight, regardless of suit, regardless of color, 6 points. Large straight flush, 5 in a row and all the same color, 9 points. Number set, so 2 2s, 3 3s, 4 4s, or 5 5s, the corresponding amount of points, and twice that much if the number set cards is all of 1 color. And so say 5 5s of the same color will score me 10 points, which seems hard to achieve, but not so much when you use some of these other effects that are indicated here. Again, it's a really good player rate, the scoring combos on one side and the special effect on the other. Another interesting thing is that depending on the number of players, there will be a number of bonus points available. Say, for example, if you have 3 players, at the beginning of each round, you take out 2 2s and a 1. And these coins will be given to the players that complete the first 4 orders in a round, but only counting orders of 4 cards or more. And so, for example, if I fulfill an order in which I have 3, 4, 5, there you go. Oh, that would be an interesting. So I have 3, 4, 5, a card that maybe means 3, but I change its number. So as a 2, 3, 4, 5, then I have a set of 4 that I'm turning in for points. I'm the first player to turning a set of at least 4 in a round. I take the biggest value of these combos here. Whoever turns in the next that has at least 4 will take that one, and then that one, and then that one. So early on in the turn, or I should say in the round, the sets that you discard have a little more value because of those available bonuses, and that's interesting because that gives players reasons to keep moving as opposed to just take whatever time they want to take to build up to some ginormous combos. You play the round until all cards have been acquired by players. During the round, the players can have as many cards as they want in their hand. At the end of the round, there's a between rounds, they need to discard down to a number of cards equal to the number of players. 2 players, 2 cards, 3 players, 3 cards, and so on and so forth. At that point, you use the deck to form another display such as this one, and then you do that again. So you do that 3 times, it's 3 rounds, and at that point, at the end of the 3rd round, the player with the highest total wins the game. So, Truffle Shuffle, I played it with 2 players, which is just Luisa and I. We play with 3 players, and we like it. We definitely enjoyed this game. What is it you like about it, Luisa?
I like how you can choose the amount of luck you're taking. You can choose to take a face-up card or a face-down card. Even when there's only face-down cards, you can still choose the color, because the color always shows on the back.
Correct, because Lisa doesn't like games with a lot of luck, especially if luck, favors somebody instead of somebody else. This way you can go for a card that you're 100% sure you know exactly what it is, or you go for one that you get a sense it's a red one or it's a yellow one.
And you might be trying to get yellow, so you're not always looking for the exact color. Sometimes you can't get the exact number, but you can get the color. You can almost always get the color. Yeah,
you will always know the color of the card that you get.
Unless it's a color, unless it's in any color.
Yeah, that's a good one. She's ahead of me. Yeah, if you get a face down and you flip it, then it can be any color. Actually, I really like the fact that you have some cards with those special abilities, like duplicate a number or any number or any color. Or
colors or numbers that are any number, and cards that can change another number to any number or another card to another color.
Sorcery is like sorcery.
So you can make an amazing combo out of cards that are almost nothing alike with a bunch of cards that will help turn them into the correct cards.
Yeah, I remember there are some of those combos where you had like so many cards that were modifying and changing things, but at the end you had like a really like a straight flush, which was worth a ton of points.
Straight flush, because I had changed colors and changed numbers with special abilities.
And because your sister and I didn't look at the back of your cards, and we should have seen that there were so many cards of a single color, we should have prevented you from getting too many cards of that kind. So the fact that the back tells you something about the card is something that you want to use, but also creates that interaction because you may want to see what the other players are doing, and so you get a sense of what they're trying to do, and we try to take that into account.
And if you see they have so many of one color, you're gonna start thinking that they're soon gonna have a flush. And that's the most powerful. That's probably the most powerful combo in the game.
It's a very powerful combo. Also, playing it with kids, they love the word flush. Told you they love it. They just associate it with other kinds of flush, and it's just you can't resist when you're 8 or 10, right? It's just too funny. So how about the kind of like the scoring things, because you can score like a single card, booyah, it's a 1, or you can score these amazing things.
You can score logically. Like if you have 5 5s, you get 5. You can score logically. Also, you can score 1 1, which sometimes if you have just a one and that's it you can do, that works because in one of the times we played, I nearly tied because I had traded a 1 for 1 point.
Oh, we tied perfectly. It was a perfect tie, so you would have lost if you didn't do that one thing. That may look like you're wasting a turn, you're wasting a card, it's a single point, but you did not lose because of that. So there is a nice range of different things that you can score, from these ginormous mega combos to some really humble 2 points here, 3 points there, that however, they all add up.
I also like how there are how you can get bonus points for the first combos.
Oh yes, that's very important also.
Because
so
if you're playing with 2 people, there are 3 special combos in the beginning.
Yeah.
The first one to get.
The bonus is for the bonus is for the orders with at least 4 cards.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I like how it makes it so you really want to get something with 4 or over in the beginning.
Yeah, you want to go fast, and so you don't take maybe forever to create like a ginormous combo, because by that time somebody has been able to steal those bonus points. So what I like, and what I think for our conversations you also like, is the fact that there is limited luck. And the fact that there are just so many different strategies that you can do, so many different approaches. Big combos, small combos, take a card, take another card, there's so many. The special effects, you can use them in different ways.
I also like how you get a player aid saying them all. So you don't have to ask. Also, the back of the player aid also has the power up. So you don't have to get the rule book whenever you want to check something.
Yeah.
It has all of the combos and all of the special card powers.
I think the player aid has been really well designed, very practical.
So you can just look down and you can see all the powers, what they do, and all of the combos for points and what they do, and the numbers of how many points you get.
So what are our conclusions, or the conclusions of these conclusions? Is this a game that you would recommend to other people?
It's a good game because there's only limited luck, and you can choose how much luck you are going to take.
So that's one of the major things. The cards look also very pretty. That doesn't hurt at all.
They have
that's just
truffles on them.
Who doesn't love those? So we had a great time playing it, and definitely think we're going to play more in the future. We think it's a great family game. If you're planning to play it only with adults during your game night with adults after the pandemic, hopefully you're not doing that these days. Maybe it's going to be a little light, but it can be a light filler even if you're just playing with adults. But playing it adults and kids together, so much fun. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Especially when kids beat adults.
Which happens fairly often. Thank you for watching, friends. Want to say hi to our friends? Want to say bye to our friends?
Bye.